Most men who hear my voice today will live and die with more potential in their graves than wealth in their purses. They will waste their prime years making another man rich, hoping for a lucky break that never comes, excusing themselves with words like hard times, bad luck, or fate. And I say to you, if you are one of them, it is not fate that keeps you poor. It is your habits. Wealth is not the property of the clever, nor the inheritance of the favored. It is the result of certain laws that work for every man who obeys them and against every man who does not. These laws do not bend to sympathy, pity, or good intentions. They reward the man who acts in harmony with them and punish the man who ignores them. And right now, if you are struggling, you are being punished by laws you have not yet learned to use. You are 3 habits away from unlimited wealth. 3. Not 20, not 100, not 1,000, and yet most will not take them. Why? Because these habits demand that you stop living like the crowd. They require you to give up the comfortable excuses that keep you exactly where you are. They force you to look in the mirror and admit the truth, that the man staring back has been his own greatest obstacle. Stay with me, and I will give you these 3 habits. They are simple, but they are not easy. They can be learned by any man who will begin today, but they cannot be learned by the man who drifts, delays, or divides his attention between success and comfort. If you cannot bear to be told that your present life is the sum of your own choices, leave now. But if you can bear it, and if you can bear to change those choices, I will show you how to own not only money, but time, independence, and the respect of those whose respect is worth having. You will hear me speak of men who began with nothing: Barnes, Woolworth, Carnegie, Rockefeller, men who passed from obscurity to power because they practiced these 3 habits until they became part of their nature. What they did, you can do, but you must stay to hear it all. If you leave halfway, you will leave with half the law, and a half-truth is more dangerous than a lie. Close your door. Set aside every distraction. Fix your mind here and now, for what I am about to give you will work only if you give it your full attention. Attention is the price. Freedom is the reward. If you will pay that price in the next minutes, you may never again live under the shadow of want. If you will not, then your poverty, be it of purse or of purpose, will be your own doing. The choice is yours. You cannot hear what I am about to say and remain the same. The man who hears truth and refuses to act condemns himself to drift. And drifting is the silent destroyer of men's years. It robs without noise. It strips without warning. It trades your life for small pay, idle talk, and the false comfort of sameness. I will name to you 3 habits. Each is a gate to riches. Pass one and you will be richer. Pass all 3 and there is no height you cannot reach. They are these: first, definiteness of purpose. Second, extra service joined to the habit of saving. Third, controlled attention guided by faith, autosuggestion, and accurate thinking. These 3, bound together, form the law of unlimited wealth. The man who passes none of these gates lives the average path. That path begins with school and ends with regret. It pays him just enough to keep him returning. It fills his hours with the tasks of other men. It teaches him to fear criticism more than poverty. It rewards him with a home ruled by worry and old age visited by want. I tell you plainly, you cannot afford the average path. It is too costly. It will consume your youth and give you nothing that cannot be taken from you in a moment. You will rise at hours another man sets, sit at the work another man commands, and watch your life measured in the coins that barely cover the cost of living. In contrast, stands the path of purpose. This path begins with a clear aim, measured hours, and a plan you wrote with your own hand. It gathers to you cordial alliances with men of will. It raises your pay because your service demands it. It brings calm to your home because your mind is not at the mercy of fear. This path is open, but it must be chosen. Before I tell you the steps, I must command your attention. Close your door. Send away interruptions. Put pen and clean paper before you. Your eyes must be on the page, your ears on my words. Attention is the coin with which you purchase wisdom. If you spend it on two things at once, you buy nothing. If you are not prepared to hear, write, and act, stop now, for these habits cannot be learned with a divided mind. But if you are prepared, you must take a vow. I will hear with my full mind. I will write what is commanded. I will act before the day ends. This is the pledge that will separate you from the drifting crowd. The plan I place before you begins with a 30-day drill to fix the 3 habits into your daily rhythm. You will meet with your master mind twice each week. You will read your definite aim aloud each morning and night. You will keep a ledger of extra service rendered. You will save 1/10 of all income and direct it toward tools and study. These are not empty exercises. Each is the seed of a habit. A habit is a law written in the mind. When you make a law for yourself that serves you, you no longer fight to obey it. It carries you forward without strain, just as a river carries the ship once the sails are set to the wind. To light your imagination, I give you the sparks of men who passed these gates. Edwin C. Barnes decided to be in business with Edison, rode a freight train to his town, and began in a humble place, holding his aim until it was done. Dr. Frank W. Gonzalez declared in one sermon his plan to build a college, and Philip D. Armour supplied the funds because the plan was definite. F.W. Woolworth began with a single counter in another man's store and built a chain across the nation by holding to his aim. Andrew Carnegie surrounded himself with able men, combined their minds into a master mind, and built an empire in steel. John D. Rockefeller kept strict account and saved from his first days as a clerk, directing his seed into ventures that multiplied it. Each of these men mastered one habit, then joined it to the others. Barnes had definiteness. Carnegie had organized planning. Rockefeller had saving. Gonzalez had faith. Woolworth had persistence. Joined together, these habits are a fortress. Alone, each is a wall without a gate. You must have all 3. Do not say, I will begin tomorrow. Tomorrow is the lie the average man tells himself until there are no tomorrows left. Begin now while your mind is stirred. The habits are simple, but they must be practiced daily until they are fixed. That is why we will start with the 30-day drill. 30 days will break the chains of drift and begin the chain of purpose. In these weeks, you will see the crowd turn aside to idleness while you take the next step toward your aim. You will watch others spend all they earn while you plant seed. You will hear idle talk and refuse it entry into your mind. You will measure your hours and spend them only where they advance your plan. This will change you more than years of wishing ever could. Before we begin, speak this seed of affirmation aloud with conviction. I am not a drifter. I am definite. I decide. I act. I persist. I render more service than I am paid to render. I save with purpose. I govern my attention. Say it until you believe it, for your belief will decide your obedience, and your obedience will decide your fortune. From this hour forward, remember, wealth is not given, it is grown. And like all growth, it is the result of seed, soil, and care. The 3 habits I will teach you are the seed. Your mind and your hours are the soil. Your daily obedience is the care. Miss one, and the harvest will not come. Keep them all, and the harvest will be certain. You now stand at the first gate. Pass it by taking the vow, guarding your attention, and preparing your tools, paper, pen, and the willingness to act. The road beyond leads to 2 more gates, and past them to a height where the air is clear and the view is wide. That height is yours if you will walk the road without turning back. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Without it, your labor is scattered, your mind divided, and your rewards meager. With it, every hour is a brick laid toward a single structure. It is a law of nature that no man drifts into wealth or greatness. He must fix his course and steer by it until he arrives. To be definite is to choose one aim above all others, to write it in plain words, and to bind your will to its pursuit. Your aim must be so clear that a child could read and understand it. It must state the service you